Hi there. Um, my name is Sarah, and I'm an INFJ. I don't really know how to start this properly, um, but I've been lurking around on YouTube for a while now and watching a lot of MBTI type videos, and I thought it was time to come out of the closet and show my face. There's not a lot of Actually, there are quite a bit of INFJs on here, but I thought I would become added to the equation, I guess. Um, Usually, people who aren't INFJs see us as this kind of mysteriously gifted, very intellectual type. Um, and so a lot of people find that they would like to be an INFJ. And so I thought I would come in and give kind of a different perspective on what it's actually like to be an INFJ. And so I came up with a list of 5 things that sucks about being an INFJ. So I guess we can just get right into it. I have a little notebook here with my notes, and this was kind of an impromptu video. I was actually supposed to be getting a haircut right now, but it got moved to like 2 hours later, so I'm like, okay, well, let's make a video, because that just totally makes sense. Um, so, the first thing that sucks about being an INFJ is that we have a lot of dreams and ideas floating around in our heads, but we don't have a lot of energy to make them happen. And I think this is primarily our introverted intuition is primarily the cause of this. We have very good capabilities of having a lot of foresight and kind of seeing into the future and seeing how things relate to each other. Um, but, I'm in my head so much that I just don't have a lot of energy to make a lot of things that I want to have happen, if that makes sense. There's a fellow INFJ on here called Thinker of Everything. Her name is Olivia, and she kind of describes the NITI loop really well. And one thing I liked that she said was that if, our brains were a hard drive, then NI would take up the most RAM. It's the thing that's constantly consuming our minds, our attention, and I've had so many cool like ideas or things that I've tried, and I just never completely follow through with them, and that's one thing that just sucks. And it might just be, it could also be my level of drive, my motivation, but all in all, it's kind of hard for me to make my dreams come true. Um, Second thing that sucks about being an INFJ is I have it in quotes here, like, you don't get me like I get you. And, in the MBTI world, it's called one sided relationships, where I feel like I'm the only one gathering, assessing, and analyzing. I guess assessing and analyzing are the same thing, but I'm the only one kind of caring enough about you and your problems, that sometimes people forget to ask me about my interests or my problems. And I just have a strong desire to figure out what type of person you are. How can I treat you differently that would make you like me more, or how can I motivate you, and I just don't understand people that don't have this desire, that aren't selfless in their relationships. and you know, take taking a step back. Like, I completely forgot what I was just gonna say. Um, but yeah, it just feels like I don't want to share some of my problems with people because I don't think that they have the capability or the desire to want to understand things that I'm going through as much as I care about them. Oh, and I remembered I was just gonna say it's like when I'm when I'm alone, I'm a lot more critical and thoughtful and you know it's hard to explain, but when I'm in the presence of another person, it's just like my mind is completely focused on that other person. Like I'm just like doing whatever I can to make them happy, because if I make them unhappy, then I'm making myself unhappy too, or uncomfortable, and etc. So it's like I'm so focused on that person that all rationality and logic just kind of goes out the window. An example of this would be like last week, okay? I needed a new bra from Victoria's Secret, and so I go and this lady like starts helping me, and she gives me some alternatives, picks out a few, and she's like, "Oh, I was with my mom, and I'm 23 years old, and I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup or anything, and I think she thought that I was like a teenager or something because she's like, "Oh, try these on, and your mom can go back there with you, and if not, then I'll come back there and check on you and see how they fit." And I'm just like in the moment like, "Okay." But then like as I'm walking back, I'm like, "Fuck, like I don't want this lady like looking at my bra. And it's just like, how do I get out of this?" So luckily, she ended up helping somebody else while I was in the dressing room. And my mom, and I realized that this bra that she picked out was $50 fucking, and I'm not gonna spend $50 on a bra. So we ended up like sneaking around the store and like getting away from her and running away, and it was kind of funny. But that's just an example of me like in the moment I'm so consumed with making that other person happy and like me that I end up regretting it when I'm like actually thinking about it like fuck, this is kind of stupid. I should have just said no straight up, but you don't get me like I get you. Second problem. Third problem, um I said it was we're kind of all or nothing. And I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but I see it in myself a lot. It's and I'll just give you an example. So, I used to have a Facebook, and I found that I'm either like on there 24/7 stalking people, being nosy, or I mean, that's like kind of the only option. I just have trouble controlling myself because I'm so interested in other people and learning about them and seeing what they're doing that I can't just be signed out of Facebook and not figure out a way to check it. Um, because I feel like if I'm still active on there, then I'm gonna miss a message or a comment or, something stupid. So I just kind of deactivated it, and I've been off for a while now, and I just feel better when I'm not doing that. So yeah, I just can't find a balance with Facebook, I guess. But that's just one example. Um, and then I guess another example would be school. It's like I either don't give a shit or I'm totally into it. And this semester, I'm not that into it. I'm trying to be, but kind of depends on the teachers, honestly. But um, so yeah, weak extroverted sensing. I'm guessing this is the reason, and our weak introverted sensing makes us want to just bounce from extremes. Fourth problem. That's a three. Fourth problem. Um, we're more dark than people make us out to be. And, like I said, when I'm in the presence of other people, I'm just so focused on them and making them happy that people don't really realize that when I'm not around others, my mind is constantly running like, oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing this. I never feel completely at ease when I'm enjoying time to myself. I always feel like I should be studying or doing something for school or learning something so I can better myself. And this is kind of an interesting thing that I've learned because my boyfriend, we've been dating for 3 years and he's an INTJ. And so he has kind of the same thought process as me, where his introverted intuition is dominant, but um, the instead of having introverted thinking, he has introverted feeling. So his thoughts are a lot more playful and happy, and he probably just has his own little world in his thoughts. That's probably a nice place for him to escape to. But on the outside, he seems so cold and distant. But as for me, it's opposite. So my thoughts are very, um, I don't know. I'm kind of critical, and um, I'm just always thinking of things that I could be doing better, or um, I'm always reflecting on, oh, I made this person feel uncomfortable today, and so stuff like that. It kind of sucks, I can become pretty consumed with things that bother me, my problems, and I think that's why I just like helping other people with theirs because I feel like maybe they are struggling and they're not showing me a side that's really them. So I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, and also we feel misunderstood a lot, which can get us into a dark thought loop. Uh, Fifth problem about being an INFJ is that we're perfectionists, but we're not always proud. And I realized this when I was first, this past semester, I got into a class, and a question that I had to answer in front of the whole class is, what's your biggest accomplishment? And it's like, fucking really? Like, I don't know. Um, I can look back at previous work that I've done and I can be proud of it, but it's like, is that really my biggest accomplishment? I just don't like to give myself too many pats on the back because I feel like I become way overconfident. I find that I feel best about myself when I've really tried or applied myself to something, and somebody that's above me, that's smarter than me, recognizes that and validates, the work that I've done. And if it doesn't really come from somebody else, that validation, then I just don't really think much about it. Like, okay, yeah, I wrote a great speech and I killed it, but you know, what did I get out of it? Not too much. So, um, yeah, so those are kind of the struggles that I've had with being an INFJ. I don't know if anybody else can relate to it. If you can, then I guess just post a comment or something. And so yeah, I mean, I'll probably start trying to make a video here and there. But I just wanted to talk about these things, and I wanted to, uh, yeah, just show people that it's not always fun and games to have this personality type. And if I were to have a different personality type, um, Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about making another video on that. Like if I was to be something else, what would I be? Maybe that will be my next topic. But anyway, let me know your comments or if you have something to add to this list, and I will hopefully talk to you soon. Bye.